Washington, D.C. Catholic Archbishop Wilton Gregory ordered priests in his diocese to protest today in Lafayette Square. This comes after Gregory condemned President Trump for visiting the shrine of St. Paul II, John Paul II, last week. Gregory's rebuke of the president was noticed by the Roman Archbishop Carlo Vigano, who praised President Trump for his leadership. He condemned Catholic leaders who are working against President Trump. Vigano wrote this to President Trump, who he sees as an ally in the fight of good versus evil, saying it is disconcerting that there are bishops who, by their words, prove that they are aligned on the opposing side. They are subservient to the deep state, to globalism, to align thought, to the New World Order, which they invoke ever more frequently in the name of a universal brotherhood which has nothing Christian about it, but which evokes the Masonic ideals of those who want to dominate the world by driving God out of the courts, out of schools, out of families, and perhaps even out of churches. Well, joining us tonight is the niece of Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Alveda King. Alveda, I have to say it is great to be talking with you again. Good to see you. And these are strange and sad days, are they not? This is unlike any kind of demonstration, and I go back to the 60s, that I've ever witnessed.
Absolutely, Lou. I'm glad to join you again as well. I've been in very close contact with the National Black Catholics for Trump and the National Black Catholics for Life. Two different groups, but some of the members are the same in both. They're very, very concerned about a protest that would object to the President of the United States carrying his Bible, walking across the park, to say we can't keep burning and bombing our churches. So I believe that there are many people in the Catholic community and the Black Catholic community who agree with that. Religious freedom is so very important. Of course, the National Black Catholics for Life, I work very closely with them as Executive Director of Civil Rights for the Unborn. So we're concerned about the voices of all Americans, regardless of skin color. We can see skin color, but we celebrate it, not fight about it. We're concerned about the babies in the womb. I am the Executive Director of Civil Rights for the Unborn, a non-denominational Christian, but I work very carefully with the Black Catholic community, and they are very concerned, Lou.
Well, the entire nation is, and we have watched an explosion here that is obviously orchestrated. This is so organized that it's stunning in its scale and scope, because intentions here matter. When we talk about George Floyd, what happened to him on video, we all witnessed it. We know that man is in that uniform at that moment is guilty of unthinkable brutality. But what we have witnessed in our streets in cities across the country is also inexcusable, in that it has been violent, that people have been tragically hurt, over 300 police officers injured. We've had 15 people killed and two policemen killed. This is not what Martin Luther King in any way envisioned for the year 2020. Your thoughts?
Martin Luther King Jr. spoke out against violence. He acknowledged that riots are the language of the unheard, and yet he quickly encouraged everyone to be nonviolent, to hear each other, to value the human personality. And he believed in nonviolence throughout his life. So did my dad, Reverend A.D. King, my grandfather, Daddy King, Martin Luther King Sr., and so do I. Martin Luther King Jr. said, when we value the human personality, we won't kill anybody. And so people will argue about, well, more black people kill black people, and nobody cares about that. We care when lives are taken across the board. Womb to the tomb, sick, elderly, rich, poor, various ethnicities. All of that is very, very important. This was a very tragic thing with George Floyd. And I was listening when we say people are kneeling, people should be praying when they kneel, not causing more agitation and violence,
Amen.
but asking God to help us and then get up and come together in unity and stop the violence, Lou.
No, it's well said, and it still stuns me to see
Yeah.
one American demanding that another kneel before them. It's a sight that is
It's
sickening
amazing
and
that
to
it's
me
being done
disgusting.
for vendettas. Those are vendettas. We need
Hmm.
genuine faith,
Yeah,
hope, and love, caring about each other, not retribution.
absolutely. Alveda King, it is always a delight and uplifting to see you and to talk with you. Thanks so much, and look forward to doing so real quick again.